Howdy, howdy. So I'm doing another video today. Been a minute since I uploaded, but I thought I'd do a video on something I actually enjoy talking about and will nerd out about for a very long time if you let me. And that is medical stuff. So if you haven't read the title of the video, this video is specifically going to be over my point of injury bag or point of injury kit. So this is kind of like a middle grounds between an IFAK and a full-on jump bag. It's really based around the March algorithm super heavily. That is the mnemonic that I choose to use in patient assessment. So before I get too far into the video, I thought I'd throw out some background here just so you guys know. I am a paramedic by profession. I've been working in EMS since I got out of high school, so probably going on 5 years now. And I finished medic school December of 22. So I've been doing this job a little bit. I'm still pretty new, pretty green. All right, there's still a lot for me to learn, and there's always going to be something for me to learn. But this is something that I'm very passionate about and I enjoy talking about. So thought I'd start doing videos on it. So I'm actually gonna bring you guys in a little bit closer than what I have you set at now. But yeah. Howdy, howdy. So I went ahead and flipped you guys back around, brought you guys in a little bit closer, so hopefully this gives you a little bit better view of what's in here and a little bit closer view. I'm repeating things. Anyways, yeah, so I'm going to start with the outside of the bag real quick. So like I said, this bag is a Tasmanian Tiger Medic Assault bag. This is the smaller version. So it's approximately 13 inches in length, 8 inches in width. All right, I'm not sure on the depth. Either way, it's pretty minimalistic, super slim, super small. Excuse me. This bag is perfect, quite literally perfect for me. It fits everything that I wanted it to fit and absolutely nothing more. I don't think I could get really much more in here. The reason I kind of look for bags that fit things perfectly is because if I have the extra space, I will start throwing shit into space that I don't need. But obviously I still need enough space to carry what I need. So this bag, fits it perfectly. It's very equivalent in size to the Spiritus Delta bag. Spiritus Delta bag might be a little bit longer, but if you've ever handled one of those, then you probably know around what size it is. The only difference is this one is half the price. So obviously the bag is the OD green variation. All right, it's just a color that I like. It matches most of my own personal stuff. So real quick, on the outside, obviously we have a Velcro panel down here. Right now I just have an American flag with a Star Life emblem on it. And then up here, you have a little square where these shears usually go. So don't have shears on the front, and the reason I don't is because on the bottom here, if you saw it, I have a Benchmade Rescue 7 or Rescue 6, whatever the small hook is. This will do pretty similar things. You can still use it to cut clothing, obviously, and to strip gear, but it's a lot smaller, less of a snag hazard. The shear pouch up here is a super great kind of solution to be able to carry shears on the outside of the pack and keep them out of the way while still having them with you. My issue is that it just creates kind of a bit of a snag hazard. So I did throw this on there instead. The thing I like about this being down here as well is I can actually reach behind and grab it with my left hand without dismounting the bag. So while it's still on my back, I can reach around, pull this out, and I'm ready to go for quick, easy access. So that's that. It stays out of the way. Never notice it's there. Never an issue with retainability so far, knock on wood. All right, next up over here, I have some tape on one of these zipper pulls. Tape is a medic's best friend. This is that good stuff. This is the 3M Durapore. It's the cloth, super sticky tape. So tape's just super useful. You'll find that you use it for everything, even if it's not medically related. So, and then on the outside, obviously, I have two Gen 7 cat tourniquets. One of them's black, one of them's green. There's no rhyme or reason for it, or not green, sorry, black, and one of them's orange. I just happened to grab whichever ones I had because I kind of have a little bit of a stock of cat tourniquets, and they're all a mix of orange and black colors. So now opening up the bag. Oh, actually real quick, I guess I'll talk about some other stuff too real quick on the back here. In this pouch right here, I'm not going to pull it out right now because it does have the county of which I work within, but I do have a triage tag in there as well. And that's usually where notebooks will go, and anything else I might need for documentation goes on that back pocket right there. So now moving on, opening up the bag itself. All right, as you can see, everything's laid out pretty well. Everything's secured in here pretty nicely as well, which is something I like. The only two free floaters are the fluids and the BVM. So real quick, I'm going to start left, move myself down right. All right, so up in this little pocket right here, Real quick note, all of this stuff is removable. It's all in here by Velcro. So if you wanted just multiple pouches instead of these placards and these panels here, that is an option you can do. But how it comes is how I have it set up, and I like the stock pouches and everything, so I just left them. So like I said up here, first one up here, this is my IV start supplies. So right on top, I have a Sharps container, all right, or Sharps Solo, just a small little biohazard container that I can put used needles in. And then below that, I have 2 flushes to the baby ones, a 3 ml and a 5 ml. All right, I don't carry meds in here, so I don't really have to worry about carrying multiple flushes to flush meds through. Even if I did, I'd most likely just use and run them through a line with fluids running, so I don't have to keep flushing. But underneath that I vacuum sealed everything together. So this is a IV. This is everything I need to start an IV. I have 2 18s and a 20 gauge in here in terms of catheter size. I have a Raptor IV securing device, a needleless connector, and then I also have a start kit behind that, which is like your tourniquet, your alcohol prep. I think there's probably a roll of tape in there, and then there's also a Tegaderm in there as well. And then behind that, I just have a 10 drip set or a macro set, so for the fluids. So very nice, compact, self-sustained little tiny kit here. All right, super nice form factor on that. Obviously, everything fits perfectly in here. So, like I said, I don't know if I could really realistically get anything else in this pouch, but in terms of being able to treat a single patient, I don't really need much else. And if I wanted to treat a second, I would have to add very little to that. Mostly just another Tegaderm and another needleless connector. Next, moving down, we'll start with the unsecured stuff, staying with the IV stuff. I do have a 500 bag of just saline. All right, so I did take it out of its packaging that it normally comes in because it's bulky as hell, and then I vacuum sealed it. But the sterility is not broken as long as this blue cap is left undisturbed. So it is still sterile. That being said, if you're doing this in a professional sense and building something out like this, please check with your protocol on what it says about removing things from packaging. Some places might be weird and finicky about that, so just be aware. Next, moving down, I do have a BVM. This is one of the pocket BVMs. I'm not going to open it because it's kind of a pain to put back together. But this is, the bag and then the mask itself. So, and then this one's also the one with the oxygen tubing, and then also has an oxygen reservoir, as all of them do. So if you have, access to an O2 tank, it gives you the ability to bag with 100% oxygen. You can also use it as kind of like a passive blow-by oxygenation device as well, by just running the oxygen through and then holding the mask kind of to their face. So a little bit of options there. So pocket BVM, those things are pretty cool though. And then next to that, I do have a iGel. All right, I just carry the green size 4. It's kind of your standard size. So an iGel is a supraglottic airway. Goes over your glottic opening or your tracheal opening, and just basically when you bag through it, kind of forces the air into a more direct path towards the lungs. And then also secures it if the patient happens to vomit or anything like that. Secures it better than, say an NPA or OPA would. So, and last but not least on this side, I do also have a EpiPen in here for your anaphylactic patients. And then I also have a 28 French NPA with lube attached to it. So next, moving up into this panel right here, this is more of my kind of like my massive hemorrhaging type stuff. So I do have 2 pairs of medium gloves right off the rip. All right, mediums I have found fit most of the people that I am around. So, it's kind of a universal size. And they're also, typically I prefer smalls, but I am able to work with mediums and still feel like I have decent dexterity and motor control. Next, behind that, just a regular pack of compressed gauze. Next to that, I have a space blanket for temperature management. I have a NAR 4-inch trauma dressing. It's a flat fold one. And then next to that, I have combat gauze and another pack of just regular compressed gauze. So a little bit of stuff there for massive hemorrhaging, obviously paired with the 2 tourniquets on the outside. But like I said, this kit is obviously not solely based around traumatic injuries. But this does obviously give me more than enough to have this kit function on its own. And then up top here, I have a Crate kit that I'm not going to pull out because, again, it's a pain to get back in. But all it contains is a trach tube, which is basically just a shorter version of a 6.0 ET tube, and then it's got I've got a bougie introducer with it, a scalpel, ChloraPrep so I can clean the site, all that good stuff. So, and then also on top of that, I also have 3 decompression needles. One of them's a NAR or North American Rescue. The other ones are not. They're all exactly the same. They are 3¼ inch 14 gauge needles. These just happen to be the ones that I had access to at some point, and so I still have a couple of them laying around, so they got thrown in here. They do the same thing as a 14 ARS needle. And then behind that, I have 2 hyphen vented chest seals, and that is it. So yeah, that's the kit. As you can see, it is super minimalistic. It doesn't contain a ton, but it does contain enough to get you started, you know, at that point of injury, or until basically until you can get someone to more definitive medical care, or until you can get more supplies on hand. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope this, if you're putting a bag like this together, hope it gave you some ideas. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Have a good one.